Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today I want to go over the reasons you absolutely should be farming Expert Onslaught as much as possible right now in episode Revenant of Destiny 2. And this is mostly because of a bug, but also there are several reasons why farming these items right now will be very advantageous. I know there's a brand new dungeon. Everyone's going to be checking that out as well. But don't forget to do this alongside that so you can get as much of the new loot as you possibly can as quickly as you can. Now, if you didn't know, we did get new maps for Onslaught with episode Revenant, including Eventide Ruins. And this one is currently bugged where the combatant difficulty power level does not increase as you advance through different waves. So if you didn't know, there are two difficulty levels for the Onslaught mode. There's normal and also expert. And then each of these has a power cap, with normal being 2030 and expert being 2065. Now, after every 10 waves, when you defeat a boss, these power levels are supposed to increase for all the enemies you face, meaning that the onslaught activity is going to be increasingly more difficult as you progress from levels 10, 20, 30, 40, and then finally at 50. But with Eventide Ruins, that's not happening, and it makes the run significantly easier. Plus, if you don't remember, on expert mode, you get 2 chests per time you clear a boss. So every 10 waves, you are going to get 2 chests. These chests are filled with the brand new weapons, the brand new armor, as well as the materials you need for tonics. So it's a great way to farm, and it's not as challenging as if you were to do expert on, for example, Widow's Court or Kel's Grave. And so now you're going to want to do this as quickly as possible. I believe this is going to be patched sooner rather than later, if I had to guess. And so you're going to want to get double the amount of loot, as well as all of these materials for the tonics as well. Don't forget a couple things. One, we no longer have crafting for the episodic weapons. So you're going to want to keep hold of your episodic weapons, the new ones that you get, and then also not delete them. You can't get a red border, so you're going to want to try to chase down the god roll as often as possible. And this means that you're going to want to get as many drops as possible in order to make that happen. You also want to have tonics on that will also drop the onslaught weapons from enemies and through activity clears. This is going to give you increased chances of getting additional weapons as well. So make sure you have those tonics on as often as possible, and that's going to increase drop chances and get you additional weapons as well. And all told, this is probably going to be the best farm until it does get patched. Now, I know the regular versions of the onslaught mode are still challenging, so even though the power level doesn't increase for the expert Eventide Ruins, if your team wipes, you still will lose progress. So say you beat wave 20, for example, you get all those weapons, and then at say 25 you do end up wiping with your squad, then you can you can't get any additional weapons. You will only be capped at the level 10 and level 20 weapons that you did get. Another thing to keep in mind, there is matchmaking with the expert version, so you can do it with randoms, which is very nice. That's what I was doing. I didn't have a team for this, and you're going to want to build that really focuses on survivability, especially if you don't normally take on end game content. The reason for that is if you are paired with randoms, then you might be reviving them fairly often, and you want to make sure that one of your teammates is alive at all times, because if you do wipe, you then lose some progress, and it does not become as rewarding as it could possibly be. It is frustrating. Say you get to like level 19 and then your team wipes. Now all of a sudden you were only one wave away from getting additional loot, and it can be very, very annoying. Plus, once you get to that max level of 50, you beat the final boss, you do get a triumph for that as well, for beating it on expert. So all things to keep in mind as you are doing this. And yeah, I definitely recommend playing this as much as possible. I would not go through any of the other Onslaught modes until this is fixed, because you're just not going to be getting nearly as much loot or as many materials. And plus, with the difficulty of this not being as high as it possibly could be, it will allow you to not only perfect your builds and increase your performance, but also allow you to test some new things out, as you will have something of a challenge, but not as difficult as being 40 power levels under on, for example, like Widow's Court or something like that. So that can be really, really difficult, especially if you don't play endgame content as consistently. Some easy builds that are really good right now that you could use: you could do a Bleak Watcher build. There are some modifiers that are pretty interesting that pop up on Onslaught. You could do the Void Overshield build right now with the new Unbreakable aspect. That's very good in Onslaught as well. Anything that kind of focuses on survivability. There were some things that were causing some guitar errors in the game, for example Tether, but that was just disabled for the new dungeon and is now active not only in the dungeon but across the game as well, and hopefully those errors will subside. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it. I'm going to leave some gameplay for you guys here to watch as you kind of check out my run as I finish up the full run of Onslaught with my teammates. It was fantastic. I'm a big fan of the way that they've done this. I do enjoy Onslaught, the new traps and everything, like for example the lasers you can call down from the sky, the turrets you can man. All of that's very good. I really enjoy these additions to the game. I think they have found a winner, and hopefully they continue to iterate on Onslaught, and maybe each episode they kind of change up the focus of some activities that are currently in the game to improve them, so that way the replayability is increased. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Apologies for the delay in content. I was dealing with Hurricane Milton. Everyone here is safe. We have no real damage to really worry about. Some minor stuff that is getting fixed, but I appreciate everyone kind of showing some love, and hopefully we should be back to our regularly scheduled program going forward. My name is JoPa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.
Guardians, you do us honor with your service. Elixni have long memories. We will remember this.